All right, welcome everybody. Welcome. I'm Chad McCuskey. I'm the Director of Aviation Services here at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. And I'm really thrilled to be here today to welcome some distinguished guests and share some really exciting news. So I'd like to first recognize and welcome Senior Advisor to the President and Infrastructure Coordinator Mitch Landru is with us here today. I'd also like to welcome our Congressman. Congressman Greg Stanton is with us today. And our very own hometown mayor, Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego, is joining us today. Thank you, Mayor. I'd also like to welcome some of our other distinguished guests, including Arizona State Representative Reginald Boulding, from Senator Kyrsten Sinema's office, Ben Stewart has joined us today. Thank you, Ben. From Senator Mark Kelly's office, Luis Heredia is with us today. Thank you for joining us, Luis. And from the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters, Fabian Sandez has joined us and is going to provide some remarks. Thanks, Fabian, for being here with us. And I'd also like to thank Aviation Department Assistant Aviation Director and Chief Development Officer Jay DeWitt for being here, as well as representatives who will really help make this project we're going to talk about a reality, including from our design firm, Gannett Fleming, and our general contractor, Kiewit Construction. We really appreciate you being here with us today. And so here at Phoenix Sky Harbor, our goal is to provide a world-class customer service to every customer every day. And one very important way we do that is through investment in our facilities and our related infrastructure. I'd like to thank our mayor and members of our council, as well as our congressional delegation, for championing the growth and modernization of our airport to ensure that we're meeting the passenger demand for the entire region. And over the past few years, we've worked to modernize Terminal 3, add a new concourse to our busiest terminal at Terminal 4, and later this year, we'll be activating the extension of our Phoenix Sky Train to efficiently and sustainably connect our terminals to our rental car center. But with traffic quickly rebounding to pre-pandemic levels and nearly $6 billion of unmet infrastructure needs at Sky Harbor alone, many more improvements are necessary to keep up with our passenger growth and demand. And that's exactly why this Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act is so critically important to our airport. And at this time, I'd like to invite Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego to the podium, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about this exciting new project that will soon be underway thanks to this funding source. Mayor?
Thank you, Chad. I am lucky to have the best team at an airport in the country, and that's part of the reason Sky Harbor is ranked the #1 airport in the country. We are here today to celebrate our largest Infrastructure and Jobs Act project so far. We will receive $194 million approximately from the Infrastructure and Jobs Act to invest in our Sky Harbor taxiways. That means your planes are likely to take off more quickly and you'll spend less time on the tarmac, both landing and taking off. I know for my son, he can be a little bit fussy when we're on an airplane, but as soon as we take off, he usually calms down. It will happen faster thanks to Infrastructure and Jobs Act money. When we have tough storms like the one we did last night, having a bigger, better tarmac will allow us to adapt and have more ability to keep planes flying. This is a very exciting project for us. It will be a 2,000-foot taxiway that will allow better aircraft flow for airfield aviations. It's going to connect our north and south airfields and will be very exciting for us and make life better for the traveling public. It's a projected $260 million cost that will be funded with, again, passenger facilities charge and $194 million approximately from the Infrastructure and Jobs Act. We know we have the #1 airport, but we cannot rest and we have to continue to invest at Sky Harbor. One of the reasons we've gotten that top ranking is that we have relatively quick times from when you get to the airport to when you are on the way. This project will help us be more competitive. The airport is incredibly busy. The Airports Council International reports that Phoenix Sky Harbor is the 8th busiest airport in the world for aircraft movements and 11th busiest for passenger traffic. So to keep up with that pace, we have to invest in our system. Sky Harbor is an economic engine for the city of Phoenix. It delivers an annual economic impact of $38 billion and employs 57,000 workers. That makes it the largest economic engine in the state of Arizona. And we can be more competitive because the federal government is partnering with us to make sure American infrastructure leads the way. I am so pleased to have my friend Mitch Landrieu here with us. He is a recovering mayor, as is Congressman Stanton. And it just goes to show when you put mayors in charge at any level of government, things get done. Both of my mayor alumni partners understand that cities are the engines of so much of our economy, that as we invest in infrastructure, people can get to better jobs, better educational options, more time with their family. We can also be better prepared for the many challenges facing our community. Mother Nature put on a big show last night, and it shows that when you have better infrastructure, you can adapt. The Infrastructure and Jobs Act is one of the many pieces of legislation that the Biden administration has put forward to help us respond to so many modern challenges. It will help us move people more efficiently, but it will also help us invest in a better water supply and securing our future in a desert environment. I'm so thankful to the members of our delegation who moved this forward. It makes me feel as mayor that I have the wind at my back, that I have a real partnership with Washington, D.C., and my council colleagues feel the same way. There are so many projects that we've been talking about in this community that are really moving because of the Infrastructure and Jobs Act. Mayor Landru was a great leader on revitalizing riverfront in his community, and now with his leadership and President Biden's, we have a very important grant for our Rio Reimagine project, one that is a huge priority for all of the elected officials in this community. We received $25 million in that project. On the same day, the Secretary of Transportation was here to announce more than $15 million in funding to upgrade our bus infrastructure as well. So those are just a few of the ways that Phoenix has been helped by Infrastructure and Jobs Act, and we continue to want to work with the administration on everything from improving access to high-speed internet to, again, preparing for the drought. We are lucky to have my predecessor, Greg Stanton, in Congress leading the way on such key committees for the city of Phoenix. He has delivered over and over again for Sky Harbor, for the working people in our community, and we thank him. He has had a great partnership, as have I, with the men and women who are building this community, and I do want to recognize Fabian, Bill, Conrad, and all the team at the Carpenters. They have changed the face of Phoenix for the better, and we want to say thank you. The Carpenters were also at forefront of making sure Infrastructure and Jobs Act was possible. And they were right there really from the conception of the bill to helping us implement it. So thank you to the Carpenters from our whole country for helping us have more competitive infrastructure. You will get to hear from both of them, but first I want to welcome to the podium Greg Stanton, who's been such a champion for Phoenix.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mayor, for that kind introduction. Mayor Gallego, one of the very best mayors that we are lucky to have here in Phoenix, one of the best mayors in the United States of America. Let's give her a big round of applause. We appreciate you, Mayor. And thank you also to my former colleagues from the city's aviation department. They do an amazing job running the best airport in America every single day. And it's great to have a mayor in the White House. Mayors get things done. And Mitch Landrieu is making sure that this investment that Congress has made in infrastructure across America gets delivered as quickly as possible. I'm a recovering mayor as well. I'm a mayor in Congress, which means my focus is just getting things done, moving past partisanship and getting things delivered for the American people. The people here at this airport have justly earned the reputation as America's friendliest airport. But don't let those friendly faces fool you. They also run one of the most lean and mean job-creating machines in all of Arizona. 1 million people and 250,000 tons of cargo pass through Sky Harbor Airport every 8 days. More than 8,000 flights every week, connecting our state to the world, bringing in new businesses and new visitors. And one of the very best qualities and most significant competitive advantages of Sky Harbor, it's right at the very center of our region, right next to downtown, convenient to all of our commercial hubs. But that also means that land is a little bit scarce. And instead of growing larger, we have to grow smarter. And that's what this investment is all about. Growing smarter so that this economic engine can continue to help us create jobs, and more jobs. This $194 million investment to build a new taxiway will help our 3-runway airport have the capacity of a 4-runway airport. That's why this investment matters so much. That's why the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law matters so much. Without it, we couldn't get this project done, period. Infrastructure investment is one of the reasons why I ran for Congress to begin with. Mayors know how important it is. It's why my first act as a member of Congress was to ask to serve on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee to deliver for Arizona. And we have delivered, and I'm proud of that. I'm also proud that Mitch Landrieu is here today as well. Mitch is also, as the mayor said, a fellow recovering mayor from New Orleans, Louisiana. And I appreciated all of his leadership at the U.S. Conference of Mayors, and I was glad to see President Biden tap him to lead the implementation of the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law. He has the experience and the perspective to get the job done and to do it well and quickly. And I look forward to working with him to make sure this historic investment makes its way to communities across Arizona, because when we work together, when we give local communities the resources they need, we're creating more jobs and we're lifting up everyone. Everyone wins. Next, I'd like to introduce our next speaker from the Carpenters Union. Speaking of people who are getting it done for the people of Arizona, Fabian Santes. Fabian.
Well, thank you, Congressman. I just want to ask you what type of batteries you use, because you never stop. You never stop, and thank you for the introduction. I am honored here today. My name is Fabian Sandes, and to be with you today to talk a little bit about President Biden's infrastructure law and how it's being delivered to us. I am a proud union member and president of Carpenters Local 1912 here in Phoenix, Arizona. I serve as a regional manager for the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters, that for over 140 years, the United Brotherhood of Carpenters has trained, educated, and represented the next generation of skilled construction professionals across America. But in order to do our job safely and effectively, we need leaders who will fight for us, like the one standing behind me, and President Biden. I remember standing behind the president back in 2020 when he and Vice President Harris launched the Soul of the Nation tour in our very own Phoenix Training Center, and promised to stand for labor and good paying jobs so you can raise your families decently. And you know what? He's delivering on that promise. The Bipartisan Infrastructure Law is a testament to his pro-worker, pro-Davis-Bacon, pro-apprenticeship, and pro-union policies. The funding from this law is a new taxiway right next to us, built by union carpenters to support our community and the travelers that come in and out of this airport every day. This project will bring good paying jobs, wages, and benefits to members and their families. And that's why the president calls this law a blue-collar blueprint for America. The investments in this law are going to create good-paying jobs, good-paying union jobs, rebuild our on all kinds of industries, rebuilding our roads and bridges, laying fiber optic cable for high-speed internet, and removing lead pipes to make our water safer and drinkable, and so much more. These projects are going to benefit our community, create community wealth, and invest in the people of Phoenix and the state of Arizona to provide greater opportunities for decades to come. So, next time you will see one of these projects going on, or fly in and out from Phoenix Sky Harbor, by the way, the #1 airport in the world, remember that President Biden's infrastructure law is delivering for you and organized labor across the country. Now, I'm proud to turn it over to someone that has been fighting for working people and working families for a very, very, very long time. Please help me welcome White House Infrastructure Coordinator, Mitch Landru.
Oh, my goodness. Good morning, everybody. Fabian, thank you so much. And tell the guys at local 1912 Carpenters, the president says he loves you, he cares for you. The president said that he was going to deliver, and he did. So it's great to be with all of you today. Mayor Gallego and, of course, ex-mayor and current Congressman Greg Stanton, both of whom I've been knowing for a very, very long time and who I've worked with quite extensively. You're really the best in the country. They do an unbelievable job. And so it's great to be with you. Chad, thank you for allowing us to be at the airport. And, of course, to Senator Kelly and Senator Sinema's staff. I met with Congressman Gallego just a couple of minutes ago, and, of course, to State Senator Reginald Boulding. It's great to be with all of you. I have been in and out of this airport many, many times. I had the great joy of flying in here last night in the middle of that sandstorm. That was my first experience. It was joyful. It was like but we hit the ground, and we were safe. But it was a new experience for me. I've actually physically been in this very space before. I have a son that just graduated from Arizona State University. How about that? And one day, as a good Louisiana dad, I had crawfish shipped here from New Orleans, and I picked them up right at that door over there before we had a crawfish boil in Arizona, which was another thing to behold. Almost as amazing as the sandstorm that we saw last night. In any event, I'm thrilled to be at Sky Harbor. I have, as I have said, flown in and out of this airport many, many times over the last many years, and it really is one of the finest airports in the country. When President Biden took office, he said that if you elect me, I will use my power to actually build a better America, to bring the country together, to unite us, not to divide us, to lift us up, not to push us down. And in fairly short order, after the American Rescue Plan, they passed the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, and then the Inflation Reduction Act, and the Act on burn pits, and then the Act on chips. Today, there was an incredible announcement. Micron is investing $100 billion in the northern part of New York to build one of the largest chip manufacturing facilities in the world, and as part of the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law. But this bill, $1.2 trillion, is designed to create investments just like that create that level of jobs in places just like this, that have a $38 billion economic impact, that support 57,000 jobs. Investments in roads, bridges, airports, ports, waterways, high-speed internet, a clean energy economy, much of that money coming to the great state of Arizona, and much of it, as Mayor Gallego said, coming right to the city of Phoenix. And so that takes us to this investment today. As Mayor Gallego said, this is a $194 million investment over 5 years in the airport, so that this airport can continue to outpace airports across the world. You don't need to know too much when you travel around the United States of America to know that we have fallen behind in our infrastructure. The United States of America is now 13th or 14th in the world in the condition of our infrastructure. That's not good for anybody. And when we invest this kind of money here, it improves the customer service, it increases economic activity, as Fabian said just a minute ago, and it makes life easier for everybody else. As the president said, it just gives everybody else a little bit more breathing room. So the president not only talked the talk, he walked the walk. My job is to get this money out of the door. In the last 8 months, we've pushed over $140 billion out of the door, down to the ground through the governors and through the mayors of this county, and it's actually hitting the ground right where we speak. So as Congressman Stanton said, this taxiway is going to make life a lot easier. It was a smart investment. If you can't grow wide, you grow smart. And this taxiway, which is going to cost $5 million, and it's going to provide 3,000 jobs, which is going to be built, as Fabian said, by the carpenters, is actually going to hit every mark that the president wanted to hit when he passed the infrastructure bill. So on his behalf, I'm very, very thankful to be here. And by the way, this isn't the only project, as Mayor Gallego said, that has already hit the ground in Arizona. Let me give you just a couple. $16 million to convert Phoenix's public bus fleet to electric and hydrogen fuel cell buses has come. $7 million to provide internet families. $82 million for drought resilience projects in the Yuma area. $66 million to reduce flood risk at Little Colorado River. The Mesa Airport down the street got $14 million, and $12 million has already been sent for wildfires. This is part of the $2 billion that is already on its way to the people of Arizona as a critical part to the infrastructure for the people of the United States of America. And it wouldn't have been possible if President Biden were not able to pull people together to actually build what he calls a better America. Because as he says all the time, nobody should bet against America. There is nothing that we cannot do when we do it together. And this is a great example of what it looks like when we get together and we make things happen for the men and women of the United States of America. Thank you all very much, and God bless you all.